Hello and welcome to 28 Years Without Avatar. I'm your host, JC. I've not seen Avatar, still working on it, but we are here changing that one episode at a time. This time with episode 6, Imprisoned. Oh boy, this episode. Okay, so just starting off, the contrast difference between the Boomy episode last time in terms of earthbending and now this one is very fun to look at, right? Because with the Boomy episode, you're getting introduced to earthbending. You're seeing earthbending in action. You're seeing how they can shift doors and like go to places within buildings that, you know, they can lock you into a room and they can enter and exit as they please, and they have all this power, right? And then you see Boomy as sort of the epitome of all that power that Aang fought last time. And again, it's an interesting choice to have that episode be the last one. And then as we move into episode 6, it's now seeing the other side of earthbending. It's now seeing the other side of Earth Kingdom where, okay, this village, which I assume is different from the Boomy one, right? It's a different area on their journey. This one is a bit different. It's much more imprisoned by the Fire Nation, you know, case in point with the title of the episode. And they are looking for earthbenders all around. And if any sort of earthbender gets spotted, if any earthbender gets found out, almost like, you know, mutants and X-Men or something like that, right? It's okay, you are getting shipped off to this sort of island barge prison, and you're not going to be able to do anything, and we're going to just sort of like nerf you, and here's a metal enclosure that you can't do anything about. I thought that was just like super like interesting. Like obviously it's terrible, it's sad, and it just shows the depths to how the Fire Nation has their control over different villages and nations in this world. From a world building standpoint, I think like I've always been curious like what the relationship is between the Fire Nation and the Earth Kingdom, because they've always talked about it like, okay, there's a lot of war happening and there's a lot of battles happening, but what does it really look like? And in this case, we're seeing the sort of result of a village that's been overtaken, and this is the sort of control that the Fire Nation has on a place when they've won. So with all that, it's a bit more of a somber episode, to be honest. Like Boomy's was, again, very comedic and very funny at times, and what the heck is going on? Like, here's what earthbending is. Wow, that's so cool. And there was definitely cool stuff and comedic stuff in this episode too, as they always do. They always sprinkle that in. But the sort of somber, oh my God, look at all these people that are just like sitting out here in this, like basically just doing nothing but just eating and doing work for the Fire Nation. That's all they're doing. They're just completely imprisoned, almost like they're on like Alcatraz or something. Yeah, like it's rough. It's really, really rough. And it pisses me off, dude. Like I hate more than anything. Like, you know, I get so riled up with stories, but it pisses me off so much when characters or, you know, bad guys in a show or movie or whatever, they're just like sort of like taking the piss, right? Like in this case, you literally have like the moment where the soldier is coming to the home and going, hey, you owe us more taxes. Like you literally owe us. And obviously like they don't have much more money to even give. Like she opens up the box. There's barely anything in there. And he's just being like a dick for no reason. He's just like, oh, don't worry. If you don't give me what I need, fire is, it's a little bit uncontrollable. Maybe something will happen to your house or whatever. It's like, F off, man. Like, come on. Like they're doing everything that they already are doing. Like you're just being evil to be evil. And it just makes me want these characters to win. Like, right. Like it makes me want Aang and the Avatar situation with these characters and the earthbending, like the Earth Kingdom. It just makes me want to see the rebellion even further. It's like, yes, please God, take the fight to them, because I hate how they're being treated, right? And it just shows in this episode. But this episode, you know, has a lot to it. Like it's not just this sort of like imprisoned thing. It's also an introduction of a sort of one-on-one between Katara and another character we've never met before. I think like with the other episodes, as of late, like last episode, we got a lot with Aang and Boomy. That was the big thing. It was like very focused on Aang and very focused on Boomy and their relationship. One of the previous episodes before that, we sort of had the moment with Sokka, with Suki, right? And that was sort of like them having a one-on-one confronting that, like, you know, in Sokka's case, he thought that girls couldn't fight like him, and they absolutely can, and they could actually destroy him in that case, which is very fun. And I like seeing that sort of relationship. And I think this is sort of a similar take here, where it's Katara meeting this character named Haru, not Haru. Persona has a character named Haru, so like my brain was like Haru. But Haru, hopefully I said that right, is how they pronounce it in this episode. And Haru is someone that is being a bit of, like, honestly, the best way I can describe it is a bit of like the Superman thing, where Superman doesn't want to, I'm thinking of like Man of Steel, which is so funny. And I mentioned it when I was reacting to it, but in Man of Steel, there's that whole moment where Clark is like, he's not wanting to use his powers. And, it's like, wait, Clark, don't reveal to the world that you're Superman. I know you could save me right now, but don't reveal to the world. Like, don't just let me go. Right. Like, that scene is talked about so much in media, and how people are like, no, Clark would have absolutely saved him. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's like definitely a problem I think Man of Steel kind of has, where it's like, I don't know if you should have let him die. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, spoilers for Man of Steel, but it's not really like a thing towards the end of the movie. It's more of like a very early on thing. But I love that in this episode, they do it completely right, where it's like, no, this old man is like, I think like a mind collapse happened, right? And he's trapped. And the only thing that could help, the only thing that's going to save him is if Haru uses his earthbending powers and reveals himself. And I honestly expected, I was like, okay, perfect, awesome. Haru did the right thing. Katara's happy. Everyone wins. Everyone's happy. And maybe someone from a distance might have seen it or whatever, and that's what gets us into trouble. But no, it's the old man. Are you kidding me? The guy who he saved, I'm pretty sure, is the one that turned him in. Are you joking? Like, what the heck is that? Like, if there's any like no MVP award, it's that guy. Okay, it's that guy. Like, go into the, I don't know, dude. Like, go to the bottom of my list of least favorite characters of all time. Because, like, what do you mean? You were literally about to die. You get saved, and then your first instinct is to go and say, this kid earthbended. Go, like kidnap him. Are you joking, dude? Like, F off. Like, that upset me so much. That made me feel so betrayed, because I was like, oh, it's good that he saved him, but man, you should have not saved him then, No, it's good that he saved him. He did the right thing. And of course, that sort of like sets off the whole chain of events in this episode, which is like Katara feeling like, okay, I'm seeing someone that is not able to show their true power and rebel in the way that I want them to, and he got into trouble. And I think Katara feels a little bit of responsibility or just confusion at, like, not confusion, but just she feels bad that, she's sort of encouraging this rebellious attitude. Katara has this spark, this flame in her, even though she's a waterbender and she's not a firebender. She's got this flame in her of, we need to fight back and we need to motivate and really change the world. Aang is with us, right? The Avatar has returned. And I love that her sort of character growth in this episode is her realizing that it's going to be a little bit harder than she thinks to rally the troops. It's going to be a little bit harder than she thinks to motivate people to be ready to fight back, because there's a lot that they're risking when doing so. It's not as easy as just, okay, the Avatar's here, let's fight back, and don't worry, you can show your earthbending skills, it's all fine. I think that, like, it's good that Katara sort of is faced with, okay, it's going to take a little bit more, and we also need to think about, like, our plan of how we're going to change the world a little bit more complex than what I was thinking. It's not as surface level as, like, okay, let's all just fight back and it's going to immediately work. There's things that people are risking. There's lives that are changing or have been changed all around already. And it's going to take more. It's just going to take more. And that's sort of like the Katara problem this episode. But I love that, like she learned that, like, she kind of effed up being so, not like super, like, she's always been brave, but, just being a little bit like too gung-ho about, yes, we got the Avatar, let's do it, guys. And she learned to have, like, a little bit more respect for, like, what has already happened to these people. But then I think it's like connecting with them in a little bit more direct way, getting to know them, finding his father, Tyro, right? Finding Haru's father and, like, sort of seeing what has happened to these people. Like, it just sort of like I like that she got more of a taste of what has happened to other people out there, and realizes that like, okay, yes, we can motivate people, but we have to do it in the right way. And I need to like understand what the environment is that we're going into before we do so. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like that's sort of what I felt is what this episode is about, is motivate people in the right way rather than risking like everything immediately and not being careful. It's like a little bit just, it's a little bit of recklessness. It's a little bit of thinking that like you have this overconfidence because you have the avatar, and it's like, no. It's a little bit more nuanced than that. We can get there, but it's going to take more, and it's going to take more planning, and we need to like think about the situation more. But yeah, anyway, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was, Katara, definitely the MVP. I love seeing her sort of back and forth with Haru in this episode. It reminds me again of the Sokka and Suki thing a little bit, where there's like this other character that's introduced that sort of has some relatability with that character, and they both can sort of bond with the fact that in Haru's case, like obviously his father has been captured, and after like raids, his father's been lost for a while, and then he actually reunites with him when he gets imprisoned, which is kind of cool actually, that you get to see like, it's not someone just that's lost and can never be found again. It's like, no, like he's actually there, and they met up, and that's really cool. And then Katara relating to the fact that her mom was killed, I believe, in a Fire Nation raid from a long time ago, which is super sad, and that's why she wears this necklace. I really like this episode. I think it like builds the world in terms of like the tyrannical nature of what the Fire Nation is doing, and I like that it goes from, we just had an episode where we saw how great the earthbending skills are and how like a community and a society can run when earthbending is used at the max. And then this episode is like, there's none, and they're all imprisoned and they're nerfed. It's like they all have their kryptonite, which is metal, right? And that was the thing I didn't even realize could be a thing, but it makes so much sense. It's like, oh wait, that makes so much sense. Like the best thing to do to fight back against earthbenders is to put them kind of like in a metal solitary confinement, because then they can't manipulate anything. And then also ship them to the furthest isolated point away from Earth, which I guess if they're like on water, right? Like the Earth under the water is probably harder to reach. So there's that too. And I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. It's like, just put them on like Alcatraz Islands everywhere around the world. And that's probably like the best place to keep them like nerfed, So that was super interesting. Like the world building of that was great. Another thing I want to point out though is while yes, like the rebellion was freaking sick. Like seeing like the coal come in as like a thing of like, hold on, they're still, as much as the Fire Nation is nerfing them, they're still using coal, right? They're still using earth. How can we like get that funneled to the earthbenders so we can fight back, right? And take the fight to the Fire Nation. That stuff was awesome. I freaking loved it, and it got me so hyped up. And I knew they would do it in the end. I knew that Haru and his dad would like be the first ones, and I was like, yes, let's freaking go. Let's see them all like fight back. But I think there was something, I don't know what is going on with my brain. My brain hyperfixates on audio a lot. I don't know what it is, but the warden of this Fire Nation outpost, the sort of like Commander Warden guy that is just being so mean, and he's like, your motivational words are gonna do nothing. Look at them. They have no more bravery left. It's all over. Him and also Haru's dad, Tyro, both of them have very, very familiar voices to me, and I haven't looked up anything, and I need you guys to tell me in the comments who it is. Maybe I'm going insane. Maybe it's someone that I don't know, but I feel like I've heard their actors before in something. Like their voices sound super familiar. Tyro almost sounds like Kratos to me. Like if you told me that was Kratos, I'd be like, yes, that's Kratos. Like there's like a gruff, like just really strong and just badass like voice out of Tyro. I want to see more of Tyro. Like I think he's like sick probably if we see more of him. Yeah, like there's something there, but I just could not place it when I was watching. I was like, I feel like I've heard their voices, but I just can't tell 100%. But yeah, as for like the rest of this episode and all the other things that happened, I gotta say another standout, Momo. I love Momo. I'm glad we're getting more Momo antics in the episodes. Obviously, we had like Appa antics, and Appa is definitely a cheat code. Like, let's have this thing fly and just like we can sort of escape on Appa. Like Appa's always like the go-to thing of like, how do we need to escape or infiltrate without them knowing? Let's just fly the thing, and I don't know how they didn't see us, but we'll fly them and put Appa over here, and hopefully the searchlights don't see us. But I thought the Momo stuff in this episode was so funny. Like Momo is so distracted. Momo thought that the earthquake, like the booming sounds of Haru bending in private, right? I thought for a second, I was like, did Momo just cause an earthquake? What's going on? And I just like the Momo was like, what? Did I do that? And you can see it on Momo's eyes. And then also, I love the moment where Momo is like behind the vent and they're doing like their fake out argument conversation. And then the firebenders are like, oh my God, that lemur has earthbending powers. It's just like so silly. And it probably was needed in this episode to have little bits of comedy like that, because it is pretty dour. Like it's a pretty dour episode. And honestly, like it's a very, like when you really think about like the war throughout human history, I mean, there's some definite things that this stuff is, an allegory for, like a metaphor to, or parallels throughout the awful stuff that we as a society, like 100 years ago, you know what I'm talking about, like World War II, stuff like that. Like there's a lot of like stuff there where I'm like, okay, this is really effed. Like this is done obviously like in a cartoon way. But if you really think about it, it's really effed up what's going on. It's really effed up, and it's important. I think it's so important for like a kid to see a show like this that's tackling people looking at other people as lesser, right? And just imprisoning them. And I, like good on them for like not being afraid to sort of like have episodes that really show the hardships and show like people being imprisoned like this. Again, like this show continuously surprises me with all that. But I do think it's good that there are comedic little moments as well, right? And that's the thing that makes the show so fun, is that, yes, although we might get some serious stuff and things that are really, really intense, it's like, okay, then you have them thinking Momo is an earthbender, which is just a hilarious idea. And now I want to see fan art of Momo like sending like rocks flying everywhere. So that was funny. I love the sort of argument between Sokka and Katara and how like they're being so cheesy with it. And then Sokka's like, okay, actually stop though. Like you're kind of pissing me off. Like stop. Like are my ears really that big? Like what? Like hey, hold on. Like we didn't have to go that far. Like that was rooted in like truth or something. If you're getting that intense about it, right? So that was funny. I really liked that whole moment. I feel like Aang kind of took like a back seat in this episode. Like he did his stuff and he was there, but it was definitely the Katara episode. She's the MVP. I would say of this one, and I will say, again, we got more moments of more ways of powers and bending that I, of course, did not see coming, that they did again. Every single episode in this show has some unique take on something with one of the bending powers that I never would have expected. And in this case, it was as they're trying to escape, right, the imprisonment, Aang starts like, he makes this like water bending. I couldn't tell if it was air or water, but whatever it was like this small like funnel thing that he created, and he's like, all right guys, send the coal over here, and then they dump the coal into it, and it's low-key a Gatling gun. He makes a death machine basically and goes with all the coal, and I was like, oh my God, that's sick. What a sick idea. And it shows that like, to me, when I see stuff like that, like that's him using water or air. I think it was water, it could have been air, but it looked like a water like cyclone little like tornado thing that he had like makeshift. But whatever it was, it shows that the elements working together can do really awesome things. And I like that sort of thematic take on things in this show. Like obviously the nations have a strong identity and they all have their strengths and weaknesses probably of what they do. But I love more than anything, and I want to see more of, when like the elements sort of come together, and it kind of shows like what can we do when we accomplish things together. And water and like earth in that moment, or if it was air, it was also air, but all of that together makes this like incredible cool weapon that Aang uses in that moment. And that was really badass. I really liked that. And that was like my favorite moment of Aang in this episode, because it's just like, oh dude, you found another way to do something cool, and you thought impromptu about it on your feet. Like, yeah, you're the Avatar. You got this. You understand the assignment. Hell yeah. So yeah, I love that. There was a little bit of shipping between Haru and Katara, and I was like, oh, she blushed? Okay, just like the Sokka and Suki stuff, I could see people shipping them. I find that interesting. Like, ooh, are we gonna see more of Haru again later? Maybe. It sounded like we're separating from them though, and Haru and Tyro, they're gonna go and rally more people to fight against the Fire Nation, which is awesome. I hope we see them more again in the future. But yeah, there might be something there with Katara, kind of feeling like, oh, like he definitely like was very thankful for what I did, and like also why did I go so hard on this? Like I think she cared a little bit. There's a little bit of shipping going on there, which is really cute. Also, the other thing that I want to mention is we got to talk about Zuko, right? Like Zuko appears at the very end. They do the previously on. So I at the beginning of the episode, I was like, oh, we'll probably see Zuko this episode. And then I kind of like forgot that Zuko existed for a bit. I was like, I didn't even think about the fact, where was he? And then of course, like the final frame is him picking up Katara's necklace that she somehow left behind. And I'm like, oh, first of all, I hate when a necklace goes missing. Second of all, or I hate when like a memento that you have from, something related to your family or whatever, like goes missing. That's just so sad. But then second of all, what does that mean? So Zuko has found this. He knows that they were there, right? He knows that they were there. And that, I guess it implies that he is on their trail again, faster than we think. And we're probably going to see him again very, very soon. He's probably got to show up in the next episode more in a full-facing way, because last time we didn't really see him at all. And then this time we get a little bit of him. But I like that. I'm glad that he got some time to simmer down, and we'll see where that leads us next time. But in the two-parter as well, because it's going to be a two-part episode apparently. So yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. Once again, I'm having a great time watching this show. It's doing such a good job at setting up the stakes and showing like how dour some of these nations and villages really are, and how the Fire Nation's control is bad, and we need to fight back. There's a lot of like Star Wars vibes to this, like Andor and things like that. There's a lot of vibes to, I was mentioning the reaction, even just like the way they're like, oh, the Avatar is here, and can that rally people? It kind of reminds me as a kid playing Halo, like 1, 2, and 3. And like anytime that chief would show up, the soldiers would be like, oh my God, no way, a Spartan? We might have a chance, like that. We might be good. Like the Covenant's so strong and is fighting us and even imprisoning us. But if Chief's here, we might have a chance. And I like that this episode just like really hyped me up for the Avatar to be back. It really hyped me up. And I love that in the end, although yes, the people did not have the bravery right away, it does show like if you give them the right tools and you help them out and you figure out the right plan, you might be able to convince them faster than you think too. So it's like, okay, let's go. How are we going to get more people to rally with us and fight back? And hopefully Aang can learn more water skills very, very soon, because they keep building it up. We got to learn more about water bending. We got to get there. We got to learn more. And hopefully while we're rallying the world to fight back, he can get the skills needed to hopefully be more powerful and then sort of like prevail, right, for the world. That's sort of my thought right now. So I'm excited to see where we're going. I really hope soon I know we've gotten like 2 episodes of earthbending stuff, but I do hope soon that we get some water stuff. I feel like water has been kind of like missing for a little bit. Like I know like Katara, like she was a big part of this episode and she's a waterbender, but I do want to see like more of like Aang learning water, because that's like, I mean, this is called book water, right? Like this whole thing is called water. So that needs to happen. We need to get there, and that needs to get moving. So maybe in the next episode, maybe in the 2-parter, maybe it's going to go more towards, okay, how do we get the skills that Aang needs? What's going to go on there? And maybe, like maybe that's how Zuko finds us, is because like that necklace is like a water bending necklace. So maybe like when we go to some water area, Zuko's like, so this sigil comes from, like this sigil reminds me of this place, and that's where I'm gonna go look for them. Maybe it's something like that. Like we go to a water area, but Zuko is on our trail because of like however this necklace looks. It reminds him of something, and that's how he can find us. So I'm guessing it's gonna go to water soon, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see where it's gonna go. But yeah, this show is great. Like they keep introducing characters week by week that I genuinely like. Like I thought Haru was really cool. I love that Haru still wanted to engage in earthbending to sort of be closer to his dad, even though his dad was taken from him. And then he sort of like unites with his dad and you know, they sort of fight back together. I think that was really, really awesome. I think that, you know, again, just seeing us make a change and actually like help out the area was nice for a change, because a lot of times it's like we always cause death and destruction to the area, but this time we like truly prevailed, which was great. So yeah, it's been a good one. This is a really good episode. I think I like this episode more than the last episode, actually. Like Boomy was awesome. Don't get me wrong. Like I love seeing that stuff, the trickery of all that. I'm like, oh, is that Boomy? Is it? It was very fun. But I think this one I felt like the plot's progressing with this one, more in the sense that we're really making a change, you know? And I think it's almost like motivational in a way. And so treat people like with respect as well, and stop looking at them as lesser just because they're Earth Kingdom. It's like Fire Nation clearly doesn't have any respect for any other bender or nation other than their own, and that is a problem. And that's why this story is what it is, where we have to change the world, right? That's the goal in my mind. So yeah, great episode, very dour but comedic at times. But I enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. As always, you can get the full reactions on Patreon if you want to watch up to date with me and sync your own footage and sort of do it as a little watch along and then watch the pod. You can do that. But if you're not doing that, that's all okay. It's all free to watch the podcast. Next week, we're going to be back with a two-parter. It's finally time. It's been long awaited. Everybody's always talked about like there's a two-parter coming up. It's happening. Next week is going to be a double episode. So I hope you stay tuned for that. It's going to be very fun. It's going to be a big reaction, a big discussion, I'm sure. Lots to talk about. I have to think about how I'm going to discuss a two-parter. I haven't done that format yet, but we'll see. It should be good. And yeah, as always, if you enjoyed, subscribe, follow the podcast on all platforms. It's pretty much accessible wherever you guys listen to podcasts, whether it's on Spotify, Apple Music, and or YouTube. You can do it all. You can watch it all. Video podcast pretty much everywhere. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Monday. And yeah, in terms of my character rankings, Katara just went up a notch. I gotta say, Katara went up there. I love it, what she did in this episode, and she's so like brave for doing it. I think she's continuing to be just an awesome character, and I can't wait to see more. I'm excited. So hope to see you soon. Have a great Monday, and bye. Bye.